And today he will be given a speech on how a fleeting idea has changed his life. This is part of the speech contest for the international category. So, Partha, when you are ready.
Haven't we all come across this idea that a fleeting thought or an idea that can change your life altogether? Well, I'm going to share one such story, ladies and gentlemen, my fellow credible communicators, about my journey, basically. More than a year back, I came across this particular concept uh, from, I don't really remember how, because it's been a while. It was probably a YouTube video, but it's about taking a cold shower. Right? Who really likes to take cold showers, right? Well, at least I have. I didn't, especially giving a context. I grew up in a tropical country where it's almost always the 80s to 90s, and still didn't like taking a cold shower because let's face it, it sucks. And coming back about a year back when I was exposed to this idea, I was, let's say, I was crazy enough to try it. The first time I wanted to try it, I was like putting my feet in. I was like, talking with myself, having conversations of why this is a terrible idea. And then, putting my hands by, and I'm going to stop with the details now because, I'm sure you don't want to hear more. But long story short, I just tried it for 10 seconds and I gave up and went back to the warm water. And the next day, I still wanted to try it again because I was just crazy. Um, and this time, I was like, this is not the way to do it. Let's just do it only for 10 seconds, but I'm going to go all in this time. So I did that. And then the next day, again, I increased it to 20, 30 seconds and kept going at it. But this time I went all in. So I didn't have any time to have these conversations within my mind. So that's how I decided to make it as a habit and see what effects I can see in my personal life. So I did this all through 2020. Now I'm going to tell you some of the effects I got, right? Well, the YouTube video promised that you could be all of this and that and that. Now, am I a millionaire? Well, certainly not yet. I don't know at least that I am. Am I a CEO? Well, I'm still working for Ford with you guys. But my skin has definitely gotten softer. That's something. Well, that's just a starter. But I can tell you, this has definitely changed my perspective. It's all about the inner game. This has definitely helped me shape and look at certain things differently. I started being more disciplined and I started going to gym more often. In fact, almost every single day. I started having more appreciation for smaller things in life. Like the time I went to camping, I didn't really miss hot water. I was able to embrace cold. Um, so, and I started procrastinating somewhat less and less. I wouldn't say I'm like, completely different person now, but I'm able to think if I'm able to do the really, really hard thing in the morning, the first time in the morning, I can do this with anything. So, what did I learn from all of this? I think taking cold showers and this whole journey is an analogy for anything, right? Without, whenever you come across the idea that promises something, test it yourself. Don't take it for the word, and just go all in and start small and be very consistent, and you will definitely see the results, and it can help you move out of this comfort zone. Back to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, Partha. I had to had some covering my mute button. Okay, everyone. I'm going to ask the timer. I know we're just giving kind of round robin feedback, but we didn't kind of discuss, do we want to do it right after the speech? How does everyone, while everything's fresh in mind?
Probably would be good right
Okay.
after, but give us a little time maybe to.
That's what I was thinking,
Yeah.
kind of collect your thoughts. So timer, if you can give us a minute just to kind of look over our notes and the judge's
Sure.
ballot.
Yeah, 1 minute.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
So looking at the participants, as far as round robin, do we want to just start in order, or does someone want to speak out and just go, and then we'll kind of all jump in?
Yeah, I could go first.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Okay. Partha, you had a lot of energy. That's more energy than I've ever seen you had before. Also, you were more enthusiasm than you ever had before. So you're stretching yourself in this, which is great. Great smile throughout, and you were less reserved than I've ever seen you before, which is also you're really stretching yourself in this, which is great. Now, here's the things to improve. So one is your head was being cut off in the thing, and I'll just tell you that that's going to turn out to be a big thing, because when you fill out the judging form, it's like an obvious thing that they're going to take away points on. So you just want to practice that. Make sure you get your head in there. You can cut off your lower body, but not your head. You were too fast. So I could tell you were enthused about what you were saying, but I had trouble picking up the message because it was just too fast. You used the word sucks in there, and I just tell you some judges will take away points on it. I know I would. I would take away points because there's a section called appropriateness, and so some, like, basically, judges my age are going to take away a point for that. And then when you said all of this and that, instead of using that, just say something specific, like what it was that they're promising you. You don't have to go into detail, but just be more meaningful than all of this and all of that. And then just one, I guess, bad English. When you said went to camping, you just want to say went camping. So, but great. It's great the way you are stretching yourself in this, and you got great potential.
Thank you.
So I was not sure though, Glenn, is with the judges, is there timing for that or no?
Yes, it was 5 to 7 minutes. So you did time?
No, I mean the judge.
Well, you mean the feedback we're giving?
Yes.
I suppose it should be a part of the feedback, because you could be disqualified if it's too long. If it's too short, Steve, is that disqualified?
Oh yeah, that's. I think what Shehu's asking is, what's his time limit for giving this round robin?
Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't get that.
Yeah. I don't think we really have a time limit.
No.
Okay.
it's-
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, can I go next?
Yes.
Okay. So I liked Partha. I liked all the things that Steve said. You're very enthusiastic, and I appreciate your energy level. I like that you were standing up because it allowed you to be more energetic. Um, Something I thought maybe when you're doing I like the stepping into the shower, stepping in and stepping back, and maybe a little shivering or arm rubbing, just a little more body language to see while you're doing that stepping in and stepping out. And I also have the same thought that Steve had about the word sucks, because some people might take offense to it. Maybe things like, oh, it's lousy, or it's really cold when you do that and it's not fun. Maybe use other words besides that. I liked what you said were the side effects, having softer skin and so on. I wasn't sure in the beginning where you were going with the speech. So maybe something in your introduction or in the beginning that would give us a little more direction about what stepping into a cold shower was going to, how it played into your speech, that you learned things from it. Because I really liked your conclusion that you learned about stepping, starting in small, but go all in. And don't be afraid. So I liked all that. Thank you, Partha.
Thank you. I know I'm a millennial, but I've been having a hard time trying to come up with the appropriate, but also the word that conveys the same context.
Right.
Well, is there any recommendation for that?
Lousy, it's lousy, or it's hurtful.
Hurtful, okay.
Even
Stepping into cold water, I think would hurt me.
Sharon, you even mentioned not fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. You remember those polar bear people that used to jump into ice cold water? I never could figure out how they did that, but same thing. Paralyzing, I would think.
Thank you.
Yeah, I can go next. Yeah. So basically, I don't have to repeat what Sharon and Steve said. Those are valid point. And I also noticed very quickly, the bad words, they will catch that for sure. The one thing that I really missed is at the beginning of your speech, I didn't see something about the reason why you wanted to jump in the water, right? You just said you watch a YouTube video, so you wanted to, right? And then it came to mind to jump in the water. But where is the struggle, or what are you trying to solve, and then decide to jump in the water? Because you were able to clearly show the benefit of jumping in the water, so people can see that. But the first part of that, the speech, where you can show this is what where I'm struggling or what I'm trying to achieve. In my life, I used to procrastinate a lot, or I lack focus, or whatever it is that cold water do for you. Or some people tell me if you jump in the water, you become rich. So those things were missing from the beginning, right? You want to show this is what I'm trying to, this is what happened. And then oops, sorry. Somebody's calling from work. They call after 5 o'clock. so you were missing that part in my in my opinion. And then when you started, because you have these judges that do not know you, I believe it will be good for you to recognize them, right? Fellow Toastmasters and that kind of stuff to start with, not just jump into the story. Yeah. So yeah, that's what I have. And to me, like Steve said, you were enthusiastic, but too much enthusiasm that you were you were cutting off sometimes.
Okay.
But yeah, great speech. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
I'll go next.
Okay.
Um,
thank you.
I love that you started with a question. I think you got the audience hooked immediately, but I agree with Abe because I couldn't follow the topic until kind of midway through your speech, and that's when I knew where you're going with the story. So you know, a little of an introduction would have been helpful to us to know, you know, what you're talking about. You were enthusiastic. I love that you nobody I don't think mentioned this. You had a lot of humor in there. It got us all laughing and wanting to hear more. And what I did notice though is that you had more ahs and ums than you've ever had in your previous speeches for some reason. I think because of the nervousness, and I don't blame you because I've been nervous for the past few weeks. But maybe consider after you did ask a couple of questions throughout, not just at the beginning, consider pausing after the question to give us time to kind of think for a few seconds before answering. That'll kind of keep us more involved in the speech and kind of follow you more, and it'll give you time to calm down maybe. Those, you know, enthusiastic shocks, I don't know what to call them, but yeah, it was great overall.
Thank you.
I think it's just me and Shehula.
Hey, okay, I can go
Okay.
since you round up. Yeah, I think you did a great job, Partha. I like the way you have to stand up for this. This is kind of different from others you have been doing, sitting down, and that kind of put some kind of more seriousness into it. You are here for business, and that's kind of great. It's going to give you more advantage with that. With other people though, the word, I don't know how that word, everybody can hear that sort. It's kind of it's kind of something everyone there are some things you can't hear, but that it just registers. So you want to try not using such word and use something else to replace that. I think overall you did good. You did just incorporate everything that everyone have been saying, and I think you're gonna do a great job.
Thank you.
Partha, just a couple things. I think everybody covered pretty much everything that I had noted. However, your volume was very good. And I think that's important, especially virtually, to know that. So you're not questioning or wondering, but it was very good. And even your physical appearance. I like the fact that, I mean, the shirt and the combination, the shirt, for me, just kind of like, okay, it was plain, it wasn't distracting. It was just right. And I'll go back to Nagam's comment on the ums and ahs and you say, you know, but I'm thinking probably after more practice, some of those will go away, and then and I'm sure it was nervousness also. Okay, I think that is everyone.
While I still have a minute, did you guys feel like the title was appropriate, or could there have been?
Can you remind us the title?
A fleeting idea.
Oh, fleeting idea. I thought that was a great title.
Oh, thanks. I don't want to give away too much, but at the same time, that's also where having it suspense and revealing the later part kind of fits in. But if everyone feels the same way, where they're like clueless on what it's going to be, then I'd rather set some more context while I begin. But
yeah, I think a little context would help. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
A little more. Yeah.
I think a little more context in the beginning will help support that.
Do you think he should have had more context in the title?
No, the title's fine.
Okay.
Because, yeah, I don't think you want to give
Yeah,
it
yeah.
away in the title.
So is this for the international speech? Okay, okay.
So there in this actual contest, they'll just be saying the title, correct? They won't ask you for like an introduction like we usually do here in the club, right?
You're correct. Yeah, you're correct.
Okay.
Right.
And they'll say the title, what, a couple times?
Twice. Yeah, they'll say the title.
Twice, okay.
Your name twice and the title twice.
All right, I think we're ready to move on.
So Glennis, then do you mind not reading my introduction? Just